here. It is the Martin Fowler Scrum on a Thursday, and Michael and Brent and Sam are all here. Let's start with Brent. Brent, how are things going with you?
Yeah, good, thank you. I'm still working through the Cucumber tests in local support to see if I can understand them. I'm having to learn Cucumber as I go along, which is interesting, and it's actually quite a good way of learning something, actually. And the end goal is that hopefully we can add some better tests in there for the map on the homepage. Yeah, no real blockers. We had the call yesterday looking at the auto sync voter, which was very interesting. So that was really useful, and I learned a lot. So thanks for that.
Great. Oh, that's wonderful. Yes, I'm a big fan of like learning as one goes along by reading this stuff. It's not as popular as it might be, but yeah, and it was great having you in the session yesterday. Fantastic.
Yeah,
Thanks, Brent. Michael came in next. Michael, how are things going with you?
Good. So I just checked out the pull request that you submitted on community support last week, and I ran it on Windows 10 to check if it worked, and it was erroring out.
Oh dear.
So you had put the date key
in
this one line inside of a Unicode encoding.
Yeah, which worked
but
on.
then you put double quotes.
So
that didn't work. It was like
on Windows, right?
And then when I removed the double quotes but kept the Unicode encoding with the single quotes, it works. So I pushed that up.
And that works on Windows and OS X?
I haven't tried it on my Mac OS, but you could check to see if it's working on yours, because I ran the code on OS X before, and it didn't seem to do anything for me. So I don't know what's going on.
No. Okay. That's good to have identified that. Anything else happening with you?
No, just waiting for I'll probably be in the React mob tomorrow. Yeah. Okay, cool. It's not today. I think it's today, isn't it?
I think it's tomorrow. It's usually on a Friday. I think today we're having the marketing meeting.
Oh. Really? Okay.
Yeah. That's what I've got in the schedule in general, and I may have completely screwed it up, but let's see.
When was it moved to Friday?
Like 6 months ago.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah, like you've been in it on a Friday the last few Fridays. Yeah. But anyway, it's all good.
Okay.
Cool. Well, I'll see you in one or other meetings. Thanks, Michael. Praveen, how are things going with you?
Good, Sam. So I have for website one and the empty GitHub repo task for which the task got stuck. So while I was writing the failing specs, so I was telling you yesterday, how can I share my screen with you?
If you mouse over the Hangout, it should pop up a little toolbar on the left-hand side, and there is a series of icons, and the second one down is the screen share one, and you're using it.
Can you see?
I can see your screen, yes. I can see your cursor.
So this thing, we have written this this project.
Yeah, the factory girl creating the needed for the spec.
We have hard-coded these URLs.
Yes.
Yeah. So is there any way we can mock these URLs or something?
Yes, you mentioned this yesterday, that the hard-coded URLs are a problem in some respects.
Yes. So if I created an empty repo on my my GitHub profile, and for now the test will work, but sometimes,
like you were saying yesterday, if in the future you then deleted that repo, that it might not work. What I'll draw your attention to is on line 6, there's a thing there that says VCR, right? So I created an empty repo for you that's on Agile Ventures, but the idea with this test is that it's not always reaching out to the remote server, that it reaches out once and that it stores the interaction with the third-party site in a VCR file, so it can be played back.
Okay.
So there's some additional complexity there. Is there? I guess this is the thing that you're on. Are you kind of stuck? Do you know the direction that you want to take next, or is there something that you need from us?
Yeah, I would need some help there.
Yeah. All right. We can certainly. So that's your one key block. Let's finish up the Scrum, and we'll come back to that. So what have I been doing? Yeah, as Brent mentioned, yesterday Paolo and I were pairing, and Brent joined in, and we made some good progress on the async voter, getting out a little new feature into staging so that we could see the 1, 2, and 3 next to the buttons, and then also kind of getting it working on everybody's platform, given that there was some confusion about what version of Node it was all on, but a productive session all round, and we'll do that again soon, hopefully. This morning I spent a good hour on the website one multiple repos feature, and in fact that file that you just Praveen, I was just editing myself this morning. I think I've basically got it working, the multiple repos feature, along with testing, and I think there is just now a series of cleanup to do. So if I'm really lucky, I might even finish it tomorrow in time for the website one meeting, so that would be pleasing. Yeah, so not blocked there. Then the other thing that I've been doing is I've just been updating the documentation for the AV102 course about how to send out the emailings, and I'm about to send out the emailing for the first week on that. Quite pleased to have got that done. Yeah, then what have we got? We've got the marketing meeting coming up in 45 minutes, the local support meeting later on today. Yeah, things basically under control. Yeah, that's our Scrum. So it sounds like we've got one, there's a college, I mean, Michael would like me to check that thing on my system. I'll certainly try and do that. Praveen, yeah, I mean, we've got 5 minutes now. Do you want me to give you a little bit of extra help? Did you want to share your screen again and sort of talk about what the sticking point is? Or what I will say is, by the way, do you have, so like the stuff that you're working on, is it in a PR where we can see the point that you've got to?
No, I haven't written, so I was stuck here.
Right, you
haven't
written anything. You're just stuck thinking about what's the approach to take.
Yes.
Yeah. So do you want to share your screen again and put the code up? And I guess you're at the point where you're trying to write a failing test. Is that that's the key point that you're at, and you're in this file here, and you're thinking, correct. Yeah. So
this is where I got stuck.
Okay. So line 12 is one that you wrote. You're yes. There trying to create like a project with an empty repo. So
yes.
But so there on line 12. I mean, in the first instance, do you want to just put the GitHub URL to be set to the empty repo that I created for you yesterday? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was like
I have to check.
Yeah, I mean, I can get the link for you. Empty project. So here's the URL for that. I put it in the chat there for you.
Yeah.
Just quickly, and what is this for? What are we...
So the background here, Michael, is that Praveen is working on an issue whereby if somebody creates a new project on Agile Ventures and they don't upload any code to GitHub and it's in an empty project state, then when our GitHub commit job,
this task,
we'll get stuck on that thing and block all the updates for everything else.
Yes, this is the failing spec. This is the
bit of code that fails. Yeah, you pointed out here. There's an infinite loop here that doesn't basically that runs indefinitely, and so is not good. But we want to have a test that exposes the problem, which is a great in. Yeah. So if we go back to the spec, I mean, I noticed there that the URL that you've created is missing the 2 forward slashes between the colon and the word GitHub. But there, so you've got project with empty repo. So, I mean, I think that the thing here is that we don't necessarily need project with empty repo for every single test right? So we could, just to like, because for clarity, we could cut and paste line 12 just down into like a separate, I mean, like onto line 22. Right, let's take line 12. Oh, I guess. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, I take that back. I'm just seeing how the way this works. Actually, is it's setting up. Right, it's setting up several projects. Right, I think it's then relying upon GitHub commits job. Okay, yeah, all right. So leave it. My apologies. Leave it where it was. Yeah, okay. And then so now, I guess in principle, when you run this, every single, all of them would just get stuck, right?
Right.
Have you tried? I guess you haven't tried running it yet.
One part is get humans right out. On the other part, there are many officers behind.
So presumably maybe the spec will time out or something.
Yeah, the spec will. I guess if our spec,
I think they probably will.
Timeout, you know, but it may just get stuck. In this case, just getting stuck here is in fact, you know, and if a test failure, Praveen, you could purely of having added that, I think you could now add, you know, the timeout, or you know, however you want to do it, with a maximum number of retries, whatever it happens to be, and see how it evolves. Yeah.
Cool. Also, there was this thing. So I wanted to declare a constant variable for this retry timeout or retry count. So can I put it in this module itself, or is there any separate constant or target or something?
I would drop it in there for the time being. I don't think we have kind of a centralized constants thing. I mean, it could become an environment variable, but I would say focus at like the key thing here, as I would say, is like, don't start looking for the things like that when we're still not sure if we're necessarily going about things in the right way. I would just pop it in there, and then as part of the pull request review, we can think about other places that it might need to go.
Sure. Thanks.
All right. Cool. Yeah, interesting. I was looking at that file this morning because that file does need to be edited to support the new setup that we're going to have, where we now have a separate source repository table with the GitHub URLs and, you know, the projects thing. And so I can see we're going to get some merge conflicts there, but that's so that's the purpose of the Scrum. We know what each other is doing and we anticipate those things. So yeah, we are precisely on time for our Scrum. A good show. I guess in the background, I'll do a quick check, Michael, of that thing and let you know about it. Data mining. Thanks, everyone. Any other burning issues that we must address before the Scrum is over? I mean, post-Scrum after party.
I'm good. Is there a local support meeting this afternoon?
There is a local support meeting indeed. I look forward to seeing you there.
Yep.
All right. Bye for now.
There's Scrum too, right?
Yeah, and the Scrum just before that meeting. Yeah. Cool.